Hello again. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the bumps and the jiggles. Just want to make sure everything is in focus and that you can see everything. And I'll just give the computer a second to catch up. How's your day going? Let's see. How is my weather outside? Oh, it is sunny. Maybe a little too sunny. Well, there's sunshine here. That's always a nice day. Here in Oregon. Let's see. Just waiting to see if I'm live. Come on. Don't you just love waiting for computers to catch up or go the right way? There we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Let's see. What should we talk about today? First thing I wanted to remind you is it's almost the end of the month, and the Cardstock Carnival is going until the end of the month. Look through your paper. I would hate for you to miss a good sale. Individual paper. There's also some bundles that you might not think to check out. You can see all of this on my website right up here. And especially this neutral cardstock bundle, which has your white, your French vanilla, which is, you know, your ivory color, and then your black. So that's a great way to get 8 sheets of each. There's also the coated cardstock, which I've talked to the last couple of videos. Or if you want the mega and get everything, there's the most discount on that. Okay, enough about that. What did I use today? Today we are using the April stamp of the month. Remember, if you're VIP at $50, you can earn this for free. If you want, you can also order it just $18.95. And then if you're not a VIP, you can still at $50 purchase it for only $5. Okay? So this is April's S2204, Message in a Bottle. All right. So you can see I've got a few up here that I kind of was playing with, and I've got a bunch stamped right here. And I wanted to show you a few techniques. And these may or may not be in order, but they're just my little list over there, so we'll go with that. Alright, first of all, a journaling pen and a branch. I cut this out of Cricut, and it is from the Flower Market one, and there's a couple things you can do. First of all, if I was thinking, I would have cut it out backwards like this. Mirror the image, and then it cuts it out. You flip it over, and there's not that white reveal like you see here. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So one thing you can do is take a journaling pen and go around those edges. Like so. And hopefully you can see that. Yep. Okay, the other thing that you can do is take a ink pad and go along the edge, which is going to be hard to make sure I'm on camera. Linda, you're out there. Is my run your ink pad along that. So anyway, and go along with that as well. So corners right there a little bit better. Not with that, but if you only have an ink pad, you can do it with that. That keeps going back and forth and stopping and starting. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk to you about for the stamp set that I'm using, I might like to have lines. It is right here, X8020. Come on. Is number 2. Oh, is it staying constant? Let me see. I'm not getting any comments, so hopefully the video is still going forward. The next thing I want to show you is masking. So I have this jar here, with this, which is like a piece of paper. So what I did is I took my ink and I put my piece of paper down. Make sure I'm in focus, or you know, where you can all see what I'm doing. And I put my piece of paper down, and then I took a piece of sticky note and I stamped that image onto my sticky note and cut it out, and I put it right here on my block. And then you're just going to lay it over the top. You want something on a mask that's thinner, like typing paper or printer paper. If you use heavy cardstock, you're going to get a bump or a ridge. So now all I have to do is stamp that, and you can see where it's got a little bit. And if I lift that out, I've got that clean line, and I have all of the piece of paper without the jar, so it makes it look like it's inside the jar a little bit more. Otherwise it would look like this. And that doesn't look as good. Okay, so there's tip number 2, a little bit of masking. Number 3, what I wanted to show you is colored pencil and how you can mimic the look of water with a colored pencil. So what I want is, I want a lot of water down here, and I'm not doing a straight motion, I'm doing a circle motion, because this is a nice big round jar. And then I'm going to, where the darker is, I'm going to accent a little bit darker. I'm going pretty heavy on my colored pencil, but I've got kind of a slanted edge. I'll show you. I've got like a slanted edge, so that way it doesn't draw a sharp line like this would be. It draws a broader, flatter, nice coloring edge without any sharp lines. Okay? So I'm darker down here, and then as I go up, I go lighter. Now you could go like this back and forth as well to color it in. And it's very light, and I apologize for that. I should have done something a little darker. So I just want to get some of that shape in there, if you will. With the more down here. Okay. Then I'm going to take a paintbrush, and I've got some water off on the side here. And these are watercolor paintbrushes. So you could just leave it like that, or you can add water. And if you add, this is just regular, our Daisy White cardstock. If you add just a little, just make your brush wet, and this is a small brush so it doesn't hold a lot of water, then you can use that water and blend everything in. Now it's a small paintbrush, so I have to go back in the water as soon as the water starts to not be there. And I'm just kind of directing and blending in my, and I'm still going in a circular motion. And there you go. Rinse out your brush. And you've got a little bit of water in your jar. Okay? Alright, what's the next thing on my list? Now there's another way that you can do this with colored pencils. And that is to color this in dark. And this. Always go a little darker. That just, those line stamp images just help you to know where your dark is. And then you can do a little bit lighter. Make sure you're on that edge. It gives you a little lighter. Okay. And then I'm going to take a clear shimmer brush, and it has alcohol in it, and it's going to act just like the paintbrush but give it shine as well. So it's going to blend it and give it shine, and I'll do about half of this so you can see what I mean by blend. Okay. So hopefully you can see some shine and some blend on that. Let me know how it looks. And if you go down here, it will obviously be darker. And then I'm just going to blend it up to where the other was. I'm going to take this and just kind of blend that in. And then I just take my the tip of my shimmer brush and brush it onto a wash rag that I have sitting off camera to clean off any color that might be there. So there's another way that you can do that. Okay. And another way you can do it is to take a blue marker. I have the Ice Gray blend here. Is that going to focus? Come on, there we go. And you can kind of do the same thing. Now this is going to be a marker, so it's going to be, you know, quite a bit darker. But I'm just going to kind of hit on those, and I'm not solidly coloring it. I'm just kind of hitting where those are. So if you want a little bit darker contrast, you can kind of do that. Now I could go over it and add some shimmer. It's not going to blend the alcohol marker as well as the colored pencil, watercolor pencil, but it will add a little bit. Okay? All right. Now what else do I want to show you? Oh, okay. The other thing that you can do is this is Scarlett shimmer brush, and you can do one of two ways. I always shake them up because you got to get all of that glitter flowing and mixed up and not settled down to the bottom, because you don't want to store them upside down. You'll get a puddle at the end, and this is a new one, so it does have a lot in it. So I always store it like this, but I shake it and get that ball moving. I always pull from the edges so that way I don't accidentally push here and have a glob all over where I want to color. And looks like our internet is doing better. And you can just remember, if it's really got a lot in there, you've got to go careful. See how I went outside the line? And you can color this in. I'm not going to do all of it because I want to show you something else too. Alright, so there's half of it, right? I'm going to come back to this, I'm going to leave that open. You can also take dark red shades marker and the dark end, remember it's got 3 colors, and you can color in, and same thing with your marker. And I do circles to color it in, it just blends it better. I don't know why, it just does. So that's what we do. Not that you can't do lines, but it just makes for easier coloring. Kind of gets everything a little faster, if you will. I'm just going to do half of this heart. And then you can go back over the top of this with this shimmer brush. And that's how you get a very pretty color. See, it's kind of lighter, but this just makes it really pretty. And here's one that I've done already. So hopefully you can see some of that shimmer. And it just makes for, you know, another layer that just adds pretty to it. Now, you can see up here that I kind of got out of the lines. I went outside of the lines. Well, we have these jelly rollers that you don't want to go over it a lot, but if you just get it rolling and cover it up, it'll do fairly well on the dark colors. You might have to really wait for that to dry. There's also a little bit here. Remember that this is going to go over the top of whatever stamped image you have. So you're just going up next to the line. You're not going over the stamp line. And I'll hold that up. So see, it will kind of cover over that line. So you just want to go up to it and erase it, if you will, a little bit. Tidy up your image. Okay. And then, let's see, what else did I want to show you? Okay, one more thing and then I'll show you some artwork. So, I wanted to make a line, and I could do that with my, let's see, where am I going to put this? I could do that with my marker, or my journaling pen. But what you can also do is use a stamp image that has a line. Now this is actually, this one that I'm using is actually this one here, which is the scroll, and I'm just basically want this line here. So there's a couple things you can do. You can ink it up. And this is where if your line drawing is not as straight as you'd like it, then you can just use that and cut that out. And the other thing is if you need, say this line is not quite thick enough for what you want to do, you can also take your marker or your journaling pen and you can just go right next to that stamped line and make it a little bit thicker. Okay, so then if I was cutting this out, I would, let's get this off of here. The smaller the paper, the easier for me. So I'm going to cut that off so I can get rid of this rolled edge, if you will. Okay, and then it's just a matter of going right beside it on both sides. The one side is always easier. Sometimes I will hold it like this. And I hope that you're seeing this. And then, like so, we've got our line. So now I can put some adhesive there and just, boom. I've got a line. It doesn't look like I drew it in. It looks like it was stamped, but it's a little bit thicker. So you can get what you need with just kind of thinking about what you have. Okay? Any questions on that? I don't see any. I'm sorry about the stopping and starting. Hopefully now it looks like it's a little bit better. Alright, so who wants to see some artwork? Anybody? I'll give you a second. I know typing can take a little bit of time. And I will show you some artwork that I did. Here's the first one. Now I did raise up this branch. This is the Scarlett paper. This is coloring it in with the marker and then going over the top with the shimmer brush. This is the Scarlett ink, and I just did this little tag. And this is the, hold it up so you can see. This is the one that I just showed you how to do. So I made it a little bit thicker. This one was already on the stamped image. So there's card number 1. And card number 2 is this one here. So this one I colored it in with the Mocha shimmer brush. just the Mocha Shimmer brush. And this is Lemonade Shimmer brush. And on this one here, I forgot to show you that. All I did, let me get some words, was I put some words down, like so. I really need to give that a second to dry. Give that a second to dry. Before you color, unless you're doing watercolor, you always want to kind of give it a little bit to dry. And what I did was, I just used this is Lemonade, and I just kind of did like that. So I just kind of went over the words and just did a little swish. And then again, if you got anything on your marker, just put it on your paper until it's clean again. And that is how I did these words. Got the little tail. I masked it off. I drew the lines. I colored in with the shimmer. I added a little bit of glitter. So there are your cards today. Again, I made these 2 branches off of the Flower Market Close to My Heart Cricut cartridge. And this is the wood grain. This is just Lemonade turned over to the light side. This is Scarlett on the full strength side. And this paper is actually from this paper pack, which is the In Full Blooms X7279B, if you'd like that. And that's just from this piece here. So this side is all that plain side. All right. So card number 1, card number 2. Which one's your favorite? And I hope you have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.